So I'm working on this really cool, updated kitchen cabinet with this wild horse. And at first I painted it with the greens, and they were pretty and they worked really well on another project I had. But the fact that he was black and white, I just wasn't digging it. So, you can always paint it. I found inspiration in this awesome piece by Katja. So I started by getting out my dark brown paint and my sea spray, because I'm gonna make this textured to look old and crusty. My favorite thing, right? I do that a lot. I just used a dark brown that Dixie Belle had, and I mixed it with my sea spray. And then I got a little chip brush because I want to give it a lot of texture, and I started pouncing it mainly in the corners, where something would be if it was getting old and dirty, mainly in the corners and the edges. And I wanted it darker underneath because I actually, once I painted, I sand it back a little bit to reveal some of that dark bumps. Here is a close-up of it. You can see it has a lot of texture, which I love. One of my most favorite things to do. So as you can see, I kind of put it in all the corners. I also made up words that spelled out valor. So that's what we named this wild horse. I actually ended up donating this to a really awesome cause. So I am using Alumilite amazing casting resin, and it takes about 10 minutes to set up. You're going to mix it until it's clear. You mix equal parts of part A and part B. Then here I am. I wanted to add some more texture with just paint. So this is just paint and that same chip brush. And then if you can dry it, I used a blow dryer to dry it. It kind of keeps that texture. So I really added a lot to this. And I decided to cover the whole area that I had painted green with the brown. So that's what I did. And then I made a mix of a couple different colors to get this really cool turquoisey green look. I had some kind of turquoise paint, but I added some green to it. I wanted it more green. I just like that old vibe color. And I took my brush and painted it on. My brush is a little bit dry, so I wanted some of that brown to continue showing through. So when you're painting, a lot of times the layers is what really adds to your project. So I'm just painting here, mainly like I said, with the dry brush. And you can see you can layer it as much as you want. The more color you want, the more you're going to layer that. And then here I am using, I believe it's terracotta. But you can use any color that's kind of got that orange hue to it. And what I'm doing is I'm taking my paint and taking most of the paint off the brush so it's dry brush. So I have a really good control of where I want that rusty color. And then I add some brown in there. So I don't want it like bright orange. I want it to look old and rusty. And then as you can see, at times I take and kind of swipe it up into my turquoise so that it blends a little bit up into that beautiful greenish color. And then towards the bottom, it kind of looks rusty and old, just like that dresser that I showed earlier. This is a really fun process, and the colors now look so much better with the black and white picture. I'm glad that I decided to change it up. Here's a little closer look at it. And then I'm going to add, once everything's dry, some brown wax to give it that aged look. I also added some copper wax, which I did not end up filming. But the copper's kind of shiny, and it really added an extra little pizzazz to it. I really liked it. And then I made it look kind of old, so I take a brush and rub it in where I want and blend it out. I did the same thing around the wording. It just kind of made it look dirty. I love the wax. I want to tell you, I clear coated it before I waxed it. So here's the end result. I appreciate you guys watching. Hit the like button, and I'd love it if you subscribe to my channel. Thank you.